It's almost fall, which means the end of 2022 is nigh. Luckily, there are still some great games coming down the pipe that will have you looking forward to the colder months. Some of these games are blockbusting no-brainers.
I know you. God Killer. What is it you want from me?
While a few of these may have slipped past your radar.
Time passes by until quietus inevitably arrives, interrupting the cycle of the seasons. Crops wither, and all life is threatened.
Either way, all of these are worth a peek, especially if you prefer to spend the colder seasons snuggled up on the couch with a good game. Here are some games that we think you should keep on your radar this fall and winter in no particular order. We don't know much about Return to Monkey Island, but we do know that the story will continue directly from what happened in 1991's Monkey Island 2. So expect to see your favourite characters return once again in this sequel to the godfather of point-and-click adventure games. Expect the same level of humour as the original when Return to Monkey Island set sail on PC and Nintendo Switch on September 19th. Come this October, Overwatch 1 will be no more, as it will be replaced by Overwatch 2. The hero shooter is not only changing the team makeup from 6 players to 5, but it's also going free to play and launching separately from the PvE content that Blizzard is still working on. The Overwatch 2 beta has proven that the sequel will be faster and snappier than the original, with some heroes getting reworks and new heroes lending themselves to a more aggressive playstyle. Overwatch 2 is going to seriously shake up the free-to-play genre when it launches on all platforms on October 4th, 2022.
Look up there! That's the command ship!
Then we know what we have to do.
Oh, yeah!
You're with me. We're getting aboard that ship.
I knew you would return one day.
Look away if you're not a fan of rats, as A Plague Tale Requiem swarms onto almost every platform on October 18th. The sequel to the action-adventure stealth game, A Plague Tale Innocence, Requiem is promising to arm you with even more tools to help you navigate Amacia and Lucas past guards and through rat-filled streets. The intense game is gory, gross, and occasionally disturbing, so it's perfect then for spooky season. It's twisted but also incredibly satisfying to smother a soldier's torch with an extinguishing powder and watch him get mobbed by rats. And that's even more satisfying on Xbox, where Plague Tale Requiem launches into Game Pass day one. Arkham game fans, pay attention. Gotham Knights is coming this year thanks to WB Games Montreal, and it'll give you the chance to play as not 1, not 2, but 4 superheroes, none of which are Batman. Gotham Knights takes place after the death of Batman, with the city of Gotham in flux and facing the wrath of the mysterious Court of Owls who thrive in the shadows. The action-adventure RPG elements will be most obvious in the varying fighting styles of Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood, all of whom have different gear and abilities to play with. Plus, Gotham Knights has drop-in, drop-out 2-person co-op, so if you weren't interested before, perhaps the idea of playing with a friend will entice you. Gotham Knights releases on all major next-gen platforms on October 21st.
Come to watch the show, Red Hood.
Nah, I'm just here to kick your ass.
Get ready for another turn-based strategy game featuring your favourite Italian-American plumber and a bunch of alien rabbits. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope was announced in 2021, showing how the new game is clearly pulling inspiration from Super Mario Galaxy, with a gorgeous galactic art style and multiple planets to explore. Sparks of Hope is also doing away with the grid-based combat system and will instead have Pokemon-style combat encounters, which may feel more fluid for both new and returning players. If you liked the first game, you'll want to nab the sequel this October on Nintendo Switch. Everyone's favourite spectacled gunslinger is coming back, and just in time for Halloween. There might be no better way to spend the witching hours than playing Bayonetta 3 on Nintendo Switch when it launches on October 28th. This is one of the biggest games of 2022, with gamers hungry for the title that was announced a little over 5 years ago. It seems like Bayonetta 3 will expand upon the gameplay mechanics of 2014's Bayonetta 2, so expect some wild new tricks and bombastic action. We don't know much about the story just yet, but that's why we'll be picking up Bayonetta 3 day one.
Bad boy. It seems I'm unfashionably late, but I'm ready to give you everything you want.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is a sequel to the well-received 2019 reboot, and it's planning on once again shaking up the franchise formula. We know that Modern Warfare 2 will have aquatic warfare like never before, some great throwbacks to iconic Call of Duty missions, and a rumoured DMZ mode. Expect a rock-solid campaign that you can breeze through in just a few days, and hours upon hours of multiplayer fun to be had. And while we don't know a release date for Warzone 2.0 just yet, you can bet that we won't have to wait long after Modern Warfare 2 launches on October 28th on all major platforms. Did you play Stardew Valley and say to yourself, I wish this was more like Final Fantasy? Well, for that one person at the back who said yes, here is Harvestella. The RPG farming sim mashup will let you collect material, farm crops, tend to your animals, and let you chat with local villagers in the town of Lethe. You can experience different seasons, like spring, summer, fall, winter, and, quietus? Here's where the Final Fantasy elements come in. Quietus is a time of year when the crops die and evil forces descend upon your village. An evil force that you'll need to fight. Of course, Harvestella will be ripe and ready to pick on PC and Nintendo Switch on November 4th. A new Sonic game is always time for celebration, and Sonic Frontiers is no exception. With open zone freedom across the Starfall Islands, you'll be blue-blurring your way through forest, desert, and more gorgeous landscapes. This isn't your dad's Sonic game, and that may be a good thing. Or maybe not. Sonic Frontiers had a closed-door hands-on at Gamescom 2022, and while there have been a few leaks, there is still a lot of unknowns about this upcoming title. How will Sonic feel to play in a 3D world? Well, we'll have to wait and see when it launches on November 8th on all major platforms.
Amy, is that you?
You can't have a list of upcoming games for 2022 and not talk about God of War Ragnarok. The sequel to the beloved 2018 reboot will reunite us with Kratos and his son Atreus, and continue their story a year after the end of the previous game. Father and son must face Ragnarok, the Norse apocalyptic legend, along with a whole host of familiar and new enemies. Freya, Thor, and even Atreus himself will butt heads with the gruff Kratos, so plan for some serious family drama. You'll also be able to visit all 9 realms this time around, so expect God of War Ragnarok to take a delightful chunk of your time when it launches exclusively on PS5 on November 9th.
Fate only binds you if you let it. Do what is necessary. Not because it is written. Make our own destiny.
Pentiment may not be what you'd expect from Fallout New Vegas devs Obsidian. It's a branching narrative 2D point-and-click adventure game set around medieval times. It doesn't look like any other game Obsidian has put out in quite some time. And it certainly doesn't look like anything else that debuted alongside it at the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase at this year's E3. But that's why we can't stop thinking about Pentiment and its cool art style and its weirdo sense of humour. There's something so refreshing about it, just like a cool fall breeze. Pentiment is launching on Xbox and PC into Game Pass on November 15th. So you want to be the very best? Well, on November 18th, you'll have the chance to prove it when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet launches on Nintendo Switch. Pokemon fans will be eating good this holiday season when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet drop in November. A brand new open-world adventure awaits, one where towns will seamlessly blend into the wilderness around it, plus some new Gen 9 Pokemon to obsess over. The new Paldea region will have vast open spaces dotted with lakes, towering peaks, wastelands, and mountain ranges. And Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will have a non-linear story that's no longer tied to badge orders or gym leaders. So expect a familiar, but not too familiar experience later this fall. A spiritual successor to Dead Space, the Callisto Protocol is Glenn Schofield's next attempt to scare the absolute living crap out of you. The upcoming survival horror game takes place in 2320 on Callisto, one of Jupiter's moons. And there's some seriously creepy stuff going on here. While much of the plot is shrouded in mystery, you can expect some gross dismemberment, a diegetic HUD, and plenty of jump scares. Play this with the lights off if you really want to get freaked out, or just nope the hell out of there and avoid it at all costs when the Callisto Protocol launches on all major platforms on December 2nd.
Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto the Dead Moon? Dead. Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck.
High on Life has talking guns that curse like sailors and beg you to not shoot alien children, and it can be a little much at times. But there's a reason that Squanch Games FPS was the talk of Gamescom 2022, and that's because it's actually pretty great. Yep, our High on Life hands-on was surprisingly good, with bold and bright visuals, sharp wit, and some surprisingly cool elements that harken back to classics like Metroid Prime and Sunset Overdrive. High on Life is launching onto Xbox and PC in Game Pass on December 13th.
Oh, but look how shootable I look. I look so shootable!
I am not shooting a kid.
Go ahead, do it! Ah, you shot me, I'm dead!
All right there, are you happy now? Well, I didn't think we'd be allowed to kill him. Normally, killing children in games isn't allowed, but he's dead. We killed this kid. Are you happy now?
That's it for our list of games to keep an eye on this year. Let us know in the comments down below if we missed anything that you're excited for. And remember to subscribe to GamesRadar here on YouTube.